Hey everybody, it's Little Spot. Today we're cracking open the shell of a mystery, the lobster. It's basically an underwater knight in crunchy armor, a sea bug that people pay $50 to eat, and it's hiding some of the wildest secrets in the ocean. And get this, the fancy restaurant lobster? It used to be a punishment. So grab a carrot, hop in, and let's find out why the lobster is the most underrated weirdo in the sea. Fact 1. For most of history, lobster was poor people's food. In colonial America, lobsters washed up on beaches in piles 2 feet high, and people used them as fertilizer and fish bait. Servants ate so much lobster that they made their work contracts say they'd only be served it twice a week. And in Maine, prisoners literally rioted because they were fed lobster every single day. Meanwhile today, people dress up to eat this thing by candlelight. That is the glow-up of the century. Now for the big one, lobsters don't age like we do. Their bodies make an enzyme called telomerase that keeps their DNA from wearing out, so they basically never die of old age. Scientists call them biologically immortal. A lobster's only real ways out are getting too big to shed its shell, getting sick, or getting eaten. And spoiler alert, the getting eaten one is usually by us, with melted butter on the side. The ocean basically built a tank that refuses to retire. Here's the fact that will ruin your next fancy dinner. Lobsters pee from their faces. They have little urine nozzles right under their eyes, and they spray each other to communicate. It's basically lobster texting. When a female wants to move into a male's den, she squirts a stream of pee straight at his face, which is the lobster version of sliding into someone's DMs. And if he's into it, he sprays right back. It's somehow the most romantic thing I've ever heard, and also the grossest. Remember how lobsters are red? Total lie, that's just their cooked color. Live lobsters are usually dark greenish-brown, like a swamp monster's mood ring. And every once in a while, the ocean rolls a shiny, about 1 in 2 million lobsters is bright blue, thanks to a genetic mutation. There are yellow ones, 1 in 30 million, and even split-colored ones that look like they were assembled from 2 different lobsters. Nature really does have a loot box system. Lobsters taste with their feet. Their legs and claws are covered in tiny chemosensory hairs, so they basically walk around licking the floor all day. They'll wander up to something, touch it with a leg, and go, "Ooh, that's a snack." They also taste with their antennae, which is like having 2 noses on top of your head. And when they need to escape, they don't run, they curl their tail and rocket backward like a crunchy, armored missile. How big can a lobster get? The biggest one ever caught weighed 44 pounds, that was back in 1934, off the coast of Nova Scotia. For scale, a 9-pound lobster is already about 75 years old. Some scientists figure the really big ones are over 100, maybe even 140 years old. So the next time you see a giant lobster at an aquarium, just remember, that guy has seen some stuff. Probably more stuff than your grandpa. Lobsters have teeth in their stomachs. It's called a gastric mill, and it's basically a built-in blender that grinds up food before it goes any further. They don't really chew with their mouths, they just grab food, shred it a bit, and let the stomach blender handle the rest. And if a lobster loses a claw in a fight? No big deal, it grows a new one. Legs, antennae, claws, all of it comes back. They're the Deadpool of the ocean, minus the jokes. Well, minus most of the jokes. Lobster romance is a whole strategy game. When a female is ready to molt, she picks a male's den, sprays him with her signature face pea perfume, and he lets her in. She sheds her shell, they mate, and here's the twist, she can store his sperm for up to 2 years and decide exactly when to use it. She can even mix sperm from different males. She's playing chess while every other animal is playing checkers. Absolute queen behavior. After a lobster molts, that's when it sheds its entire shell, the new shell underneath is soft, and the lobster is basically a squishy burrito with legs. So what does it do? It eats its old shell. munch, munch, munch. It's recycling for the calcium, which helps the new armor harden up. So picture this, a soft, vulnerable lobster sitting there snacking on its own exoskeleton like it's a giant potato chip. Honestly? Same energy as me after a long day. 2 bonus facts. 1. Lobster blood is clear. It only turns bluish when it hits oxygen, because lobsters use copper in their blood instead of iron. Fancy sea royalty blood. And 2. Lobsters are right-handed or left-handed, just like people. One claw is a big crusher claw, the other is a smaller pincher claw, and the bigger one is usually on their dominant side. So yes, somewhere out there, there's a left-handed lobster just living its best life. So there you have it, the lobster, a face-peeing, immortal, blue mutant, stomach-teeth sea knight that used to be prison food and now gets its own candlelit dinner. It's been confusing and delighting us for centuries, and it's still absolutely thriving. If you learned something today, and I know you did, smash that like button and subscribe for more animals that sound fake but are absolutely real. This is Little Spot, hopping back to my burrow. Stay curious, stay weird, and remember, the next time life gives you lemons, be a lobster. Just keep growing.